There's such a feeling of relief going back to the flight hangar for the purpose of leaving this place. It's like getting released from jail or something.
Excellent. I'm going to dock the shuttle. Got to be careful now. Careful.
Yeah, be careful. The last two ships that got near the Ishimura crashed.
I'm bringing the shuttle down now. The automated loading controls aren't responding. You'll have to shut down gravity in the hangar bay, and then manually bring the marker directly beneath the shuttle.
Entering zero gravity.
It's nice to know this crisis is nearing its end. Strange to think that a substantial percentage of the Ishimura's crew might have still been alive when we first arrived here, but it would make sense. If you will recall, many people were dying just as Isaac walked in on them. This means that many more people must have been regularly dying when Isaac was exploring other parts of the ship. We landed on board, not at the end of the outbreak, but somewhere in the middle of it. Most likely somewhere during the later half. If you don't count Mercer in Chapter 10, or that first soldier we saw get attacked in Chapter 8, both of whom we saw get attacked during video calls, Isaac walked in on 15 people as they were dying, including Hammond and Jacob Temple. In addition to those, there were also 2 soldiers who were seen alive, but we don't know for sure if they ever escaped. There was one strange-looking fellow we glimpsed on the bridge in Chapter 4 who said, "Make us whole." We never saw where he went. There was a grieving woman in Chapter 5 who we did not see die, but who I can confirm did in fact die minutes later, when Mercer vented all of the air in that room into outer space. I went to check for her one time when I played the game before. So based on those figures, it's quite clear that when we arrived, there were plenty of people who might have been rescued, if they had been in the right place at the right time. But it just never seemed to work out that way. We shouldn't count the soldiers, though, because they were not here when we arrived on the Ishimura, and we shouldn't count Hammond either, because he wasn't present during the original outbreak. But even if you subtract those, and add Dr. Kine, we can confirm that there were at least 13 survivors of the crew who Isaac witnessed alive personally, and it seemed as though Elizabeth Cross died shortly before Isaac saw Jacob Temple die. So that means at least 14 were alive when we arrived, and so there were probably quite a few more that died between then and the time Isaac made it to their part of the ship. So this was the latter half of the crisis rather than just the end of it. Isaac most certainly lengthened the lives of many by a short period by restoring the ship's engines, asteroid defense systems, and decontaminating atmosphere processing. But of course the Ishimura herself arrived during the crisis rather than at the beginning of it. The crisis actually began on the planet Aegis 7, where we're about to take the marker. Look at how the shuttle sits on anti-gravity beams. It never ceases to fascinate me how many different innovative ways the Dead Space developers found use for electrogravity technology. So far, aside from bracing ships, they use it for asteroid tethers, cracking open planets, propelling ships, moving minerals, artificial gravity plates, probably restricting airflow, and kinesis modules, which themselves have a variety of uses, from loading alien artifacts onto ships to throwing simple switches that a person might otherwise be bothered to simply grab with their hand and move the way a filthy, stinking caveman might do it. This electrogravitic landing gear would be extremely helpful for any air or spacecraft that gently takes off and lands vertically, as it means the craft itself doesn't need any landing gear. However, there is at least one obvious disadvantage. It places major limits on where a ship can land. That's very useful to governments and other entities that want to discourage people from stealing ships. You probably have to have a license to own landing pads. By the way, coming up are the 63rd and 64th necromorph babies I've encountered on this ship since we first saw them in Chapter 2. That's if you count the few I did not kill, and the 3 that we encountered on the military's USM Valor. It's possible I saw or killed the vast majority of the babies on the ship, since I've visited the vast majority of the ship's rooms, and since the babies were hunting me. But even if I saw a full 90% of the babies, that means 70 babies, at least, to supply replacement body parts for the crew. This means the CEC somehow calculated that on any given project, 70 members of the ship's crew could be expected to lose a body part between supply stops. That's a 1 in 14 chance that as an employee, you would lose an appendage. Not sure I would want to work in a place like that. No doubt you could tell how close CEC employees were getting to retirement based on how closely they resemble the Frankenstein monster.
Exiting zero gravity. Loading cargo shipment 782.
It's on board. Please come and join me. Together we can stop this hive mind. We can end this nightmare at last.
All right, kind, I'm with you. Let's go wrangle that hive mind.
Over here! Hurry! There's no time to waste. We must do it.
What? Why does this always happen to me?
Wait, Amelia. Where are you going?
What's flying the ship? The marker? Kendra, you'll never believe what just happened.
Sorry, Isaac.
What?
I couldn't let him go through with it.
You bitch!
I suppose I should thank you for finding the marker. We even managed without help from the USM Valor. Thank you for helping me find him, by the way. My department's been looking for this place for a long time. See what Kind didn't know was? It was the government's mess to begin with. This whole planet is one big experiment. The marker? This divine relic? Made by man. They reverse engineered it a couple of 100 years ago from the real marker, a true alien artifact recovered on Earth. They dug it up, studied it, and they made it their own. Then they brought it to Aegis 7 and activated it. And you've seen the result. The stuff of nightmares. They sealed the system, and no one would have been the wiser. But then the CEC blunders in and starts tearing the planet apart. The experiment was still alive. Kind was right about the hive mind. The marker would contain it, but that doesn't matter now, does it? I have the marker, and this entire system can go to hell. For what it's worth, you did a great job, Isaac.
But Kendra!
See you around.
Engineer!
Or maybe not.
Isaac, Nicole, I need you to help me. Help us. Now! I'm in the flight control room. Please, Isaac, hurry. Please! I'm not sorry.
Well, I guess I'll have the luxury of spending the brief remainder of my life with the woman I love. I don't understand, Kendra. To think, with all of her tinfoil hat-wearing conspiracy theories, it turns out she was the conspirator all along. But why did she have to leave Isaac behind? Isaac couldn't care less whether the CEC security officer, a girlfriend, a mad doctor, or a government operative is giving him orders. Isaac will do what he's told. She should have just said, Isaac, we're taking the marker with us to hand over to the government. If Kind doesn't like it, he'll get over it. And Isaac would have followed the orders. He doesn't care. But I guess that's the way government is. Move in, locate and acquire the target, move out, and get rid of any witnesses. Not that Isaac would have told anybody. He doesn't seem to say anything. But welcome to the human race, which after 500 years still hasn't changed.
Isaac? Is that really you?
Yep, Now let's get it on.
I never thought we'd be together again.
How about a hug?
God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for what I did.
What'd you do?
I never wanted to hurt you.
I don't even remember what it was.
You need to get it back now, Isaac. You can pilot the shuttle remotely from here.
Brilliant, Nicole!
Make us whole again.
What does that mean?
Make us whole again.
Yeah, whatever. We'll talk later. Now let's activate that tractor beam thing and bring Kendra and her shuttle back here so we can get out of here. Oh, Kendra, I require your return.
Isaac, what the hell are you doing? You're making a big mistake. This is not over.
Just try and stop us, Kendra.
Escape pod away, crew shuttle USG-09.
Touché.
Repeat. Shuttle has ejected escape pod.
It doesn't matter. She can't escape her fate. None of us can.
You're awfully philosophical for a blonde trophy girlfriend.
I'll reprogram the shuttle so we can fly down to the colony. We're so close, Isaac. Now go! Get on the shuttle. I'll meet you there.
Nicole and Isaac working together. What a team! Isaac totally knight in shining armored that damsel in distress. That's what this whole situation smacks of. The classic hero tale. Nicole might as well be Rapunzel, Sleeping Beauty, or Guinevere. What a fun and dark futuristic take on old romantic themes. What an adventure as we race off to stop the hive mind, which might as well be a dragon. Kendra becomes an evil sorceress who is hiding in the shadows somewhere, now that she has used the shuttle's escape pod, but may return at any time to threaten poor Nicole and destroy Isaac. And that does it for the necromorphs on the Ishimura, but don't get your hopes up. There's still every potential for more of them in the next chapter on the planet Aegis 7. It's every bit as capable of yielding everything from the kind I just killed to, yes, even babies. Oh, that reminds me, Nicole, we're not having any kids. Period.
You're doing the right thing, Isaac. We're together now. The way it always should have been. I knew you'd come back for me.
Pick a Starship song.
Nothing can stop us now.
Great choice.
We can build this thing together, standing strong.